You run everything inside these walls. 1,400 inmates, 340 staff, 47 acres of controlled space where you decide everything. Who eats first, who gets solitary, who gets a phone call, and who doesn't. You are the most powerful person inside these walls. And right now, a man you've never met is sitting in a boardroom in Culiacan, Mexico, reading a file with your name on it. Your salary, your mortgage, your daughter's private school tuition, your gambling debts, $340,000 across 6 accounts, 2 of which are already in collections. He closes the file. He already knows what you'll say. You just don't know he's asking yet. Level 1. The offer you can't afford to refuse. The man who comes to see you isn't cartel, not visibly. He's a prison consultant, legitimate company registered in Delaware, a website with stock photos of conference rooms, and a phone number that actually gets answered. He wants to discuss inmate welfare programming. You've had 20 meetings like this in the past 3 years. You take the meeting. He slides a single sheet of paper across your desk. It's not a proposal. It's a list of 5 inmates currently in your facility, all Sinaloa cartel mid-level operators, all serving between 8 and 22 years. Next to each name, a number: $12,000, $18,000, $9,500, $22,000, $15,000. What he wants is simple. Move all 5 to the same housing unit, general population C block. No special monitoring, no wiretap flags on their calls. Total payment, $76,500. Deposited into an LLC your brother-in-law already owns. It will look like a consulting invoice. You think about the $340,000 in gambling debt. You think about the collections calls your wife doesn't know about yet. You take the sheet of paper. You tell yourself it's just a seating arrangement. What you don't know, the FBI's organized crime unit has had 2 of those 5 inmates flagged under a Tier 2 RICO surveillance order for the past 8 months. Moving them into the same block without a documented operational reason will trigger an automatic alert in the Bureau of Prisons' internal security database within 72 hours of the transfer paperwork being filed. The alert goes to a desk in Washington. The desk belongs to an investigator named Special Agent Marcus Webb. Level 2. The seating arrangement. The transfers go through on a Tuesday. You file them under population balancing, a legitimate administrative tool wardens use regularly to manage gang tensions, facility overcrowding, and programming assignments. Your documentation is clean. Your reasons are procedurally defensible. You've been doing this job for 11 years. You know exactly how to make a decision look routine. By Thursday, the 5 inmates are in C block. By Friday, the cartel's internal communications, intercepted by a DEA wiretap you know nothing about, show the Sinaloa network acknowledging receipt. A coordinator in Phoenix texts a single word to a number in Culiacan. Confirmed. Your $76,500 arrives Monday morning. QuickBooks invoice, paid in full. What you don't know, Agent Webb has pulled your transfer paperwork and spent 4 hours reading it against the RICO surveillance. The population balancing justification doesn't hold. C block is currently at 94% capacity, the highest in the facility. Moving 5 inmates there makes no operational sense. Agent Webb opens a preliminary inquiry file. He doesn't have enough to go to a supervisor, but he starts a timeline document. Your name is at the top. Date of first entry, the Tuesday you filed the transfers. Level 3. The upgrade. They come back 6 weeks later. Same consultant, same conference room in your office. This time, the sheet of paper has one name on it, Rafael Mendez, serving 19 years for a federal drug conspiracy conviction. Currently in administrative segregation, isolated, monitored, no contact with other inmates. The cartel needs him accessible. They need him in general population with phone privileges restored, his outgoing call list expanded from 4 approved numbers to 14, and his cell transferred to a unit with a known blind spot in the camera coverage. Payment? $140,000. You know this is different. Bail transfers are invisible. This is operational infrastructure. You're not moving furniture anymore. You're building a communications network inside a federal prison for an active criminal organization. You ask for $180,000. They say yes without negotiating. That's the moment that should have stopped you. When they don't negotiate, it means the number doesn't matter to them. And when the number doesn't matter, it means what they're getting is worth far more than what they're paying. You file the paperwork anyway. What you don't know, the camera blind spot you identified, a 14-second gap in corridor coverage between C Block and the North Yard, was documented in an internal security audit 18 months ago. The audit recommended a $12,000 camera upgrade. You approved the audit, you rejected the upgrade, citing budget constraints. Agent Webb finds the audit in your administrative file. He upgrades the inquiry to a full preliminary investigation. He requests a second agent. He gets one. There are now 2 people whose entire job are you. Level 4. Running the prison inside the prison. By month 8, you are no longer a warden who takes payments. You are a logistics coordinator. You control which contraband gets confiscated during shakedowns and which gets missed. You approve the staffing rosters. You know which officers ask too many questions and which ones watch the clock. You've transferred 3 guards who are doing their jobs too well. All 3 transfers were documented as performance-based reassignments. All 3 went to facilities 200 miles away. The Sinaloa network inside your prison is now running $2.3 million per quarter in drug distribution. Fentanyl pressed into fake vitamins, mailed through the approved package system, distributed through an inmate with a job in the mailroom that you personally approved. You have received $430,000 in 14 months. You tell yourself you are in control. What you don't know, the FBI has placed a confidential informant in C Block. He's been there for 6 weeks. He has a body camera sewn into the hem of his prison-issued jacket, activated by a pressure button near the left cuff. Every conversation he records is reviewed within 24 hours by Agent Webb's team. They have 34 hours of footage. Your voice isn't on it yet, but 3 inmates have described you by name, rank, and specific decisions you made. The prosecutors have been briefed. They're deciding whether to go to a grand jury. Level 5. The guard who noticed. His name is Officer Daniel Reyes, 7 years on the job, clean record, union rep for the East Wing. He comes to your office on a Wednesday afternoon and closes the door. He tells you he's noticed the pattern, the shakedowns that miss the same cells, the camera gaps, the mailroom assignment. He's not accusing you directly. He's bringing it to your attention as a professional courtesy because he respects your tenure and wants to give you a chance to address it internally before he files anything. He's giving you an out. What he doesn't know is that you stopped having outs 8 months ago. You thank him. You tell him you'll look into it. You schedule him for a shift rotation review the following week, administrative, routine, completely standard. His new assignment puts him on the overnight shift in the minimum security annex, 3 buildings from C Block. He files a formal complaint with the Bureau of Prisons Office of Inspector General the next morning. The OIG complaint lands on Agent Webb's desk by noon. Webb calls the lead prosecutor. The grand jury convenes in 11 days. Level 6. The morning everything changed. You are in your office at 6:47 a.m. reviewing the daily incident log when your deputy warden knocks and tells you there are federal agents in the parking lot. Not at the gate, in the lot, already inside the perimeter. That tells you everything. They didn't request access. They already had it, which means someone inside your facility authorized their entry, which means this isn't a visit. You have exactly 4 minutes before they reach your office. You think about the $430,000. You think about what's in your email. You think about the consulting invoices. You open your desk drawer and look at your phone and realize there is nothing you can do in 4 minutes that won't make it worse. You close the drawer. You straighten your uniform. Agent Webb opens your office door at 6:51 a.m. with a federal arrest warrant, a search warrant covering your office, your vehicle, and your home, and a seizure order for every financial account connected to your name or your brother-in-law's LLC. He reads you your rights. You already know them.
Level 7. Institutional Processing.
The irony doesn't escape the investigators. You were processed through a federal intake facility 40 miles from the prison you ran. You know this system. You helped design the intake protocols for 3 facilities in this region. You know the exact holding cell dimensions, the booking procedure timing, the exact wording of the rights notification form they hand you. Now, you're on the other side of the form. The federal charges filed against you: bribery to a public official, conspiracy to distribute controlled substances within a correctional facility, obstruction of justice, money laundering, 11 counts total. The sentencing exposure under federal guidelines, 85 years. The prosecutor offers a cooperation deal: plead guilty to 6 counts, provide full testimony against the Sinaloa network inside the prison, accept 22 years. You have 72 hours to decide. Your attorney tells you the evidence is overwhelming: the camera footage, the financial records, Officer Reyes's testimony, the 3 inmate cooperators, the DEA wire intercepts confirming your transfers. You sign the cooperation agreement on hour 71. What it costs you: your pension, your house, your brother-in-law's business, and 22 years. What it gets the FBI: 14 indictments, including the consultant who first walked into your office with that sheet of paper. He gets 31 years. Level 8. What the prison became. You serve your sentence in a federal facility in rural Pennsylvania. Not the one you ran, never that one. Bureau of Prisons policy separates former corrections officers from any institution where they had authority. You know too many people, too many procedures, too many weaknesses in the wall. So do the people who took your place. The new warden, appointed 6 weeks after your arrest, launches a full operational audit. She finds the camera blind spot. She approves the $12,000 upgrade in her first week. She reassigns every staff member you personally placed in C Block. She finds 2 officers who were on the cartel's payroll at lower levels than you. $800 here, $1,200 there. Both are terminated and referred for federal prosecution. The mailroom inmate loses his assignment. The fentanyl pipeline collapses within 30 days. Rafael Mendez, the inmate you moved to general population for $180,000, is returned to administrative segregation, pending a new federal conspiracy charge. He is eventually convicted on 9 additional counts. His new sentence: life without parole. Officer Reyes is promoted. You watch none of this happen. You hear about it eventually through your attorney, through legal filings, through the same paperwork systems you used to sign. The prison ran fine without you. It always was going to. 3 years after your conviction, a new deputy warden is appointed at a federal correctional facility in New Mexico. He has a strong record: 11 years on the job, 2 commendations, a family, and $280,000 in personal debt from a failed real estate investment he hasn't told anyone about. On his 3rd week, a man in a good suit requests a meeting. He says he works for a prison consulting company. He has a sheet of paper.